Alright, welcome back. I know we've been away for too long. I know it's been almost a year.
No, we did some content this year.
Oh yeah, all those are short videos. Yeah. But welcome back everyone. The long awaited episode is here. We're happy to be back, honestly. It hasn't been easy. Of course, like what we always do here. For the first timers, welcome to the JHL podcast.
Welcome.
And
Right there.
please go ahead. Another reintroduction.
Oh, they've missed you now.
They missed you now. Just tell them what's
going
on.
Hello everyone, Hamid your boy, the finance guy, back here. But say less.
Say less. Reintroduction. Alright man, my name is Lateef, of course. They used to call me City Boy, but ever since they started tagging that City Boy to Tinubu's people, I know they came out.
Depending on your perspective.
But anyways, yeah, Lateef here. Of course, we're finance guys. Lateef Adebayo, City Boy. We're back again. Welcome back.
It's nice to be back here actually. I miss doing this, to be very honest. And yeah, don't worry, we'll give you more. We are back.
Yeah, definitely, we're active. And just unrelated, again, in our name, this is not like a huge explanation, but JHL, some people have always wondered what it stands for. Of course, it stands for acronym in our names, that's fine. But also, it stands for our 3 core pillars, or basically how we explore our core pillars, which is job, hustle, and life. Those 3 things, right? And here on this podcast, every month now, that's the plan, we'll be dropping this long form episode where we're addressing things on career, finance, and self-development. Those are our 3 goals. And in this episode that we're back, it's just catch up, not too much. We'll let you know what's happening in the market, let you know what's going on, and then we just get to it. So guys, let's get started now. What's been happening? How you guys did first of all? How have things been?
Last time I was there, I was quite better, but now, still better but shaky. I knows what I'm saying.
What's happening now?
The market is. But yeah, we've realized profit. We don't charge dividend also.
You guys have made 50% this year.
They've made 50%.
And
I've
you have
made 150 year to date. Even most equity market funds are making more than the
actual
in the market. So yeah, it's nice actually. It just shows that you know the market, you are experiencing both sides. So that shows people who know what they want in the market, and experience plays out at this particular point in time also. Because if you are more of you've lost value on your portfolio and you want to sell at loss, it shows you are panicking. You are panicking. But at this point in time, I feel the basic investment knowledge just sets you to buy more into your portfolio to average down your cost. So it's just basic.
And like they will always say, buy the deep.
For guys, the deep don't deep.
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy. But I mean, you're the one that's making money.
The man in the market is in
forefront. What's going on in the market?
Okay. So this year so far, we've actually seen the ASI run astronomically high. Seen the year-to-date return get to as high as over 60%. But again, it has been largely down. Look at the month of June alone. We are currently running at a loss of about 15% month to date, which is quite unusual, or more or less, I would say largely expected, because a market cannot just keep going up. Correction is due, and it's quite imminent, and that's kind of like tell us that, the market is still sane. It can't just keep going up. And again, we look at, why is the market down at this point in time? We can say it's likely because of no significant major action. And again, looking at a lot of market events in terms of what the regulators have put out there, we saw the settlement cycle reduced to
T+1.
Extension of market R, which is quite taking a toll on me, because it has to be on the system.
Do you think everybody knows about that extension? I think everybody does now.
No, not necessarily. What you don't know.
How would it be true that you don't know about?
For traders, their profession they know, but most
for
investors
investors
are not still exposed to this.
And we can tell them what happened.
So market timing got extended, and that was from before. Now we used to have the market hour between 10 to 2:30. So for it's now from
Wait,
9.
it was 10. It was 10.
Yeah,
10.
Guy, it feels like it was always 9. No, it was 10.
So it was 10.
Okay.
10 till 2:30, and
Okay.
now the market timing is now 9 to 4 p.m. Before it used to be 4 hours. Now it's like
Sorry, man.
no
No lunch.
Honestly, again, lunch. Very good question. More or less, like now we are saying, oh, probably we'll be taking shifts, morning shift and afternoon shift, just to make it a lot more seamless. But again, looking at, would I have said the extension was necessary? Because I would have said no, in my own opinion, because there's literally no much activity beyond that market
regular one.
extension. Yeah, honestly,
And-
it just made it a lot more boring. I don't know where this is.
Actually, for me,
But again,
Yeah, very boring.
it's just about change. In the early phase of change, it gets boring. You don't want to do it, but I think over time you will get adapted to it. I think it's fine for my.
Okay, I think Jubril, you're going to add
yeah,
something
for me,
about
like
this.
when they said boring, actually, because when they were planning this extension, like the first thing that came to mind was we'll extend the profit and loss limitation.
Yes,
also.
thank
Maybe
you.
to 15%.
Thank
Because
you.
people are trading longer hours, and for traders and professionals, on the job is. It's still like you are just extending the job with no, anything that comes with
So what's now the additional?
What's the additional value? Yeah. More deals are coming into the market, and I don't know. I'm very careful with this word, but yeah, I stand to be corrected. Is people who want to manipulate the market also. It's a better, it's a better time frame for them. Not necessarily. You get, but I feel it's unlike before, the 4 hours or maybe 4 hours 30 minutes of trading is here and there. People are coming in, going out. But now you can just sit down, watch the market. Even basically, you can sit down by 9, watch the trading go on into like maybe 2 o'clock, and by 2:30 you can say that this is all what people will do. Now let me sell, let me do this, and some people, like I'm saying, like there are some investors. Just one particular transaction can change the look of things.
Yeah.
The look of what has happened in over the last 4 hours.
Exactly.
So that's just it for me. Yeah.
I mean, I will also just add that, normally as investors, so in Nigeria, the market up and down in a day is 10%. So max 10% up, max 10% down. And it always makes, that's the price boundary. And it always makes sense, especially at the back of, I don't think it was established in 2008, but especially at the back of so-called crisis that we had, which has been long gone now.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because it protects investors that
A whole lot.
no matter what happens, your money will just disappear.
Yeah.
We'll just go into the
I
thing.
mean, that was when they brought in the whole e-dividend.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
Share
Yeah.
certificate was eradicated, and then electronic form,
Everything
CSCS
became
statement,
digital.
and all. So,
And even trading platform has made it so good.
Yeah, to just do everything
Not
on the
making
tip of your
decision
phone.
on this, but
Yeah.
real-time trading
And
also.
up to last week, I still get called that someone was telling me, oh, I got really scared of the prices that happened in 2008, and since then I've not been in the
Guys, it's been 2 decades.
Yeah,
man.
so that's when you say, oh, are people even aware that they've even extended
The
market
market
time?
hours. So you are even still afraid of 2008.
So I feel for me on the client-facing parties, you talk to people who have this liquidity to come into equity investment, and when they sit you down, you feel like, are you intending? Because they tell you what it is, even what
Yeah, I
you
think
guys
intending
what
funny.
yeah, what you so you'll be surprised that they know the fundamentals of the market, and even they still follow through up till date. They tell you what First Bank was doing, then they even tell you probably what we are doing now is still undervalued. Like a lot of companies are still undervalued.
And we've said this thing. There's an episode that we recorded, and we're talking about, I think it was Nigerian breweries and international breweries or something, and how regardless of like what's
The
going
profit they are
on
making now,
right
yeah.
now, things still look quite undervalued.
For them,
They
yeah.
still have potential.
Looking at their all-time high price.
So I think we made an example then that let's make this fun actually for Nepo babies. Maybe your dad bought you Nigerian
Nepo
breweries
babies,
years back then, and He's buying now. I think give us the price at maybe 100 naira.
Yeah,
It was trading at 100 naira,
153.
153 levels.
What?
And now, so you want to maybe you did a global search and you conducted a global search, and now you are seeing your dad is telling you I bought you 15 million naira worth of shares back then, and now maybe you are seeing something like maybe 8.7 million, and you feel like
almost out.
that if you don't give me money now, so exactly. But
Next of key, you know, let's
I think the market is matching up, but like Amin said, there is correcting, there is balancing. You know, honestly, kudos, like big kudos to the regulators in the market.
No, try to. That's why I would always say, NGX this year, CSCS,
SEC.
they are SEC, like they're really, what is it? CBN. They're really, they're really on their toes that no, this market, this financial space, we must get it right. I mean, even beyond the capital market. I know it was also earlier this year that they increased the bar to register as either a merchant bank or a commercial bank. So people are not
Even
just
for
coming.
investment houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people are not just coming because before people could just go and buy a certificate. Now it's
Set
2
up
billion.
yeah.
Now it's 2 billion to get even just get the certificate alone. Not to talk about operational, not to talk about staff. So honestly, kudos to the regulators in terms of that. But I'll say, just to divert a bit from that conversation, the fear of most people again is, yes, the market has done a lot. Now, if we cumulate the gains against the losses this year, let's say the total gain is around 54%, which is still
Is it still around that?
It's around that.
So
maybe
looking at the market dip yesterday, should be around like 51.
Still fair.
above
Still
50%.
Still fair. Still fair. How fair?
For the whole of 2025, that's 12-month period, the market is about 51.19 or thereabout. And now, this
And
is
just
June
at
is over. June is
just
over.
at balancing period,
Yeah.
is doing 51% return.
Come on, man. But I mean, so that is not to ask. I think the question on my mind and the mind of a lot of investors is, okay, now that no other people are taking profit, but when does this end? Like when will things balance? Because it's like June has just been ever since they switched to T+1. June started. Oh yeah, everybody get out of the market. So when is the recovery really going to happen? I mean, a lot of people say when Dangote comes, we don't know.
Okay, well,
When?
Dangote is expected to come around September. That's the IPO.
Dangote refinery. Yeah.
So aside from that, we expect half-year earnings for most of these companies to be out by July. Yeah,
Yes.
that's Q2 earnings, and this is the last month in Q2.
Okay.
So Q2 earnings, that's like, so they have to add it to Q1 earnings, so that will be half-year earnings. Should be out next month. And we've seen some companies announce their notification of board meeting. So when they announce notification of board meeting, that means their result is around the corner. So say 30 days from now, towards the last week in July, we should be seeing some companies release their half-year earnings. And most of these half-year earnings comes with another set of dividend. That's interim dividend.
Money makers.
So interim dividend is around the corner. For most of the banks, the likes of Zenith, GTCO might still want to give the investors interim dividend.
Somebody will pay us this year.
So we have the likes of also WAPCO with potential interim
One of
dividend.
the
So
sweetest stocks. Not an advice to buy, but
no,
financial
so we also have
advisor.
Paragel that just released its full year audited and
Yeah.
Q1 earnings. They also market is also speculating that they might also declare interim dividend. So these are all results that we expect to shape markets bullish run for July. For June has ended already. So we are most likely going to close this month at a low region. Because negative return here a month to date already. So let's see by July when most of these results for half-year earnings are out, we should see some little rally or major rallies. And again, another thing is what's currently happening in the market now that the market is down. We are seeing a lot of significant crossings. And that's huge volume consolidation.
That's between between institutional investors.
Yeah,
mostly
as
institutional.
first we go that it's when market is down that is the best time to buy. Be fearful when others are greedy. Fearful when others are greedy is when market
Now
is
this
up.
guy talk on.
And
I've seen
be
it from
greedy
Warren before.
when others are fearful.
Yeah.
Greedy when others are fearful implies when market is down.
Take it off.
So everybody is fearing
And
and
yeah, like-
fearful because market is down. Would it still go down? That's when you should be greedy. and try to get more. So and that's what most of these smart money maker, or let me say institutional players, are doing. And about 2 weeks ago, we saw a crossing, or let me say off-market deal of about 70 million units in Dangote Cement. That's about 167 billion. Even rather before they released its earnings, like
was a major cross.
in the last 2 weeks, we've seen crossings of about 3 million units, 5 million units in a single transaction ticket, and that's about nothing less than 4-5 billion naira transaction. So in the last 2-3 weeks, I can say that for Arada alone, they've done close to 50 billion naira worth of transaction, and that's just consolidation. But at the same time, we say, oh, someone is selling, but at the same time, we need to understand that someone is buying also. Even MTN as a whole, on Monday or Tuesday, they did a crossing of 5 million units. That's close to 4 billion naira transaction again at 8:30.
Wow.
Yeah, which basically I think that was the price it closed.
And again, another stock for me that I will always keep watching is MTN literally, because looking at MTN and this similar crossing that they are doing now, they still did some too last week. This crossing they are doing now was the same thing they did last year when it was around 300 naira. And
So after the crossing,
so it was basically after the crossings that we now saw the
price. Went from 300 to now 830, right? And now they are doing that same crossing around this price region, and a close comparable. And again, when you're looking at some stocks that that's catching your eye on the exchange, you try to look them with a close comparable. So we are seeing MTN, we are seeing Airtel. Airtel is 1,007.
Airtel moved this week now. I think
it has always been. I don't think it's been like that. It has always been on full.
So this year already it has done over 100%.
At that price,
the reason why, another reason we would say it's going down much is not like there's that huge transaction. So they are doing a buyback by the firm itself.
Oh, okay.
So an instance where they cross over 100,000 units or 100,000 units at the price, the price changes. So it's understandable. But at the same time, when you look at Airtel trading over 4,000 and MTN still around 830 region, at least my own insight or layman knowledge is like MTN, a lot more people use MTN compared to Airtel, like they would say.
Yeah, but for Airtel, it's Airtel Africa.
And that's one counter I was going to have. That's what
for
people say.
MTN, they will say MTN everywhere.
MTN Nigeria. Like what's listed on the exchange that we're aware of, that we see their statements, is MTN Nigeria.
Yeah.
The one on the exchange is Airtel Africa.
Airtel Africa, yes.
So I mean, compare is fair, sort of.
At the same time, we are saying, okay, I don't want to understand. I mean, a layman, like I said, a layman. Airtel, I don't want to know if it's Airtel Africa. Am I using Airtel?
Okay. It doesn't concern us.
Yeah, when they are buying and selling, yeah, most people do.
MTN. Am I using MTN in Nigeria? Yes. Airtel, MTN. That's all. And when you look at the market share, MTN has more market share compared to Airtel.
Is it the biggest market
share? Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
biggest.
Like their logo will say,
everywhere you go.
So, I mean, I'm still like MTN is still under Saka below 1,000. And
it should be 1,000.
Yeah, like it should be
over 1,000. And
comfortably.
Because the market share is already above 1 trillion. So that means it's part of the SWOT. That's stocks worth above 1 trillion. So if it's in that range, that cement is in that range. It should work around that 1,000 then.
Above 1,000. And again, looking at MTN itself, their performance over time. In 2024, they made a loss of about over 400 billion.
Due to the foreign exchange.
Back to 2025, where they made over 1.5 trillion naira profit.
So they even shelved off their loss.
They've shelved off their loss. They were able to declare interim.
No, they paid dividends
last year,
15 naira this year.
Final year dividend. So, for me, I'm expecting that by the end of Q2, they should also improve on that performance.
Yeah,
but again, there's also some cautious sentiment around MTN because of this whole South Africa,
the xenophobia and all of that.
Activism around it. So they are saying that a lot of people would want to sell off MTN because of that. that they might have for South Africa. But
Yeah,
another
and
thing
since it's a
is
South
Africa,
African company.
yeah, this is MTN Nigeria, basically. Like I would always say. So
Lima.
again, those
But I feel another thing, like in relation to what you've discussed now about MTN, is I came across something about MTN and I know MTN and DSTV that the Senate called some of their stakeholders, yeah, for I don't really have the glimpse of it. Maybe we'll check it out,
Okay,
discuss it
okay,
later.
yeah.
I know that down. MTN and DSTV. What
Yeah,
happened?
MTN and DSTV.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check it and we'll see what it is.
But another thing is MTN is also looking at setting up a finance arm where
Wow.
they give loans.
Are they hiring?
No, is it not? But they have Momo. This Momo app. Is
They have
it not-
Momo.
is it
No,
not
I think
Momo?
they divested from Momo. I'm
Wow.
not sure.
Okay.
But it's looking like they want to divest from Momo and set up
a
proper
new subsidiary.
finance.
So that means these guys are serious. Like if there's anything I like to see, right, is companies that take their business very seriously. And I'm not saying other companies are not serious, but depending on the growth stage they are at, there are some companies that have the outlook of being more complacent or being a bit laid back because they've been there for years. An example I would always give is Wema Bank.
Okay.
Wema is not in tier 1 bank right now,
Yeah.
but if you see their performance, the way they, even in terms of technology, I think I saw earlier this year they were the first to launch this voice app where you can talk to your bank.
Your application.
Okay.
I don't say let it transfer money, so you don't want to do
But
that.
the prompt, it's
But
yeah, you
these
see
days
voice
available.
prompts.
You know that these guys are really futuristic. They are
So
thinking
future
about.
for Wema Bank in terms of technology, I feel they are
thinking about.
They came about alert now.
yeah.
Yes, they're doing that. So again, like that, people like that, people like MTN. I think, like we always say, as long as we know that fundamentals,
Right.
people will always be good, then it's something that we can work on. So to wrap up this conversation of price movements, price recovery, market recovery, and all of that, another thing that the regulators have done is they did publish that on a regular day for investors that might not know, to move the price of any stock, it requires 100,000 units of that stock. And okay, that's not a problem. At least it helps in terms of so you know that funds will just disappear in the market. Unlike crypto that can just
Yeah.
like Bitcoin now.
Volatility.
But anyways, yeah, in terms of volatility. But anyways, right now, the consensus is they've now changed it to basically lower the amount of units required for more expensive stocks like Seplat or stocks like Dangote Cement that also worth
Yeah,
above
over
1,000 naira, Airtel and all of that. It now requires lower units. And next one, Arada as well. It's just the only thing is I'm not sure if they've implemented that yet.
No,
Or they are still on it.
I feel it's a great move actually because if you are considering the share per unit, if you are multiplying it by that benchmark of 100,000, you see, oh, it's a very nice move actually. It's a very because if you are buying Seplat at maybe 9,000 naira each and times 100,000, you should know the 4 units. So
That is
At
required
least
to move it.
for Seplat now, as of now, Seplat is trading around 11,000. So it takes 1 billion to change the price. So
That's 100,000 units.
yeah, 1 billion. So with the new rule, it will take just about 100 million.
wow, that's fair. That's fair.
So and for stocks like Aradel, Dangote Cement, if you look at them, to change their price, it will take over 100 million. But now it will be around 10 million.
10 million.
Thereabout.
Which is fair.
retail
It's fair, yeah,
investors
yeah,
can
yeah.
actively
Yeah, participate and influence the
Can
market.
even be more liquidity. Investors can
Yeah, more
easily
liquidity,
influence
more liquidity.
the market and all of that. Unlike you're looking at
but the volatility will be crazy.
higher, right?
Yeah.
Especially in those type of
Yeah, I feel for the regulators, like we've always said in the market, the major purpose of the market is investors' confidence, and yeah, they should always come into the market and feel they have a say with their money.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it's supposed to be.
Even with my 100,000, you won't be able to say at least I know that no matter what happens, somehow,
You
somewhere.
might not just expect much profit like the guys doing the billions and hundreds of
Yeah,
millions,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
should be able to take something else, either on the loss or on the profit. So you need to consider,
No,
because
I mean,
most
it's a
times
risk.
we are
It's a risk,
preaching
yeah.
the market. When you are preaching investment,
Yeah.
all people see is just profit.
Mm. Okay, I think just move on from that conversation. again, a big one that I feel like why even almost start talking about it is the Dangote refinery IPO. Again, as we're looking at it, it's been like investors would, most of the ones that are online would already know, it's been moved again to September. The only information that we have, which is more or less should be private, the public should have known about it, but they do, was a private placement that happened. But just for information's sake, again, the IPO, we're looking at September. Obviously, nobody knows the price yet and all of that, but I think my own question would just be, do you guys think, obviously it's going to be a huge addition to the market, right? In terms of even liquidity and market share and all of that. But are we really going to see this? How do you think this is going to affect the market?
So in terms of market capitalization, yes, I mean it's going to be a significant addition to the market cap. Because before now, the NDS was slightly trading around a 100 trillion naira mark, and we're expecting that with the addition of Dangote refinery, that would push the market capitalization higher beyond that 100 trillion naira cap. But now with the market movement so far this year, with market returning over 50% already, we've already gotten way above that 100 trillion naira cap. And we are looking at above 153 as of yesterday, 153 trillion naira cap. So with that, maybe of course the impact of the listing of Dangote refinery will push the market cap higher, and in terms of liquidity, it will also be great, and it will drive a lot of investors also to the Nigerian market. And this is also on the back of the recent reclassification of the Nigerian market from an unclassified to frontier market, which is expected to take effect by September 2, around that time that
the Dangote is also confirmed.
So I don't know, it will be a good one for the market. But on the other end, on my own,
there are always two sides.
You have to consider it.
In my own opinion, I feel the Dangote refinery is already overhyped.
And that's what a lot of investors are saying. That
it's already over.
There's so much at this point. It's almost like we're imagining the demand now. There's so much demand, and we're just waiting for this thing to happen.
And for me, it's just like the same way SpaceX also went about, where they also got to list around was it 162? It got to over $213 before it now retraced back and now negative region. So
you feel like SpaceX, once they understand it, it keeps going like the rocket itself to space.
Exactly. So for me, I would just advise investors to be quite cautious. And as of yesterday, I saw my my faculty in school. Like I saw a publication that they're inviting a.
Was invited Elon Musk?
No, a finance analyst to come and talk to them about the opportunities of Dangote refinery. In my mind, I just look at it like, the only reason why I will be on that call is to look at what this guy wants to say. So that I would not actually confuse them, because there are other opportunities in the market that you can actually take advantage of, rather than just focus on Dangote.
Also, diversification is a matter.
I mean, it's ridiculous that you hear some people they are selling all their stocks
at this point
to just buy them.
It's overhyped in my opinion.
No, so I feel I won't like to use the word overhyped, but this is weird. To be very honest with you, I mean, I'll go against you saying it's overhyped. You know why? Is the face behind the brand sells the brand naturally. I was having a conversation this morning. I think I've spoken with Lateef also. For Dangote Sugar, I don't really know the financials behind the rights issue, but I feel it will be oversubscribed. Why? A lot of people are thinking there is a connection between Dangote Sugar and Dangote Refinery. Because a lot of people now don't know they are not even entitled to take this right. Maybe at the point of reconciliation for the issuing houses and the registrars and the stockbrokers involved, you get but the name Dangote itself, people feel, and you know when they were going back and forth with this regulator stuff in the oil and gas industry, they feel for Dangote to stand. When he was going back and forth, they feel for him to finally get to this level, he's still taking it further. Just layman thinking. Basically, you're in the market, like you said, the market capitalization, what it is, the value, and when it comes into the market. But the name Dangote itself playing to the public, like, oh, you can. GT Bank did so well. Like they say, honest lies. Like branding, we shouldn't forget that branding is a major part of our market, and that's why SEC, NGX, they are now sensitive about advertisement and public communications out there.
Yeah.
I think SEC they've called. I think they've made a call to stakeholders in Dangote refinery that they should watch the kind of advert
they
put
did.
towards this particular the forthcoming IPO is. They know what branding, the power of branding and communication, what it can be. And you see influencers out there on Instagram also. I feel most of them are misleading. I'm sorry to say. Anybody can come for me. I'll be here. But some informations are so misleading online. And most, so another thing I think we've discussed this is most influencers, what they sell out there is if you had gotten this stock in January, this is how much you have now. Why not now come and tell me now that if you had gotten this stock in January, you'll be losing this particular amount of money? Why are they not playing this volatility awareness to layman investors out there? So, but I feel the stock would, it will thrive. Basically, it might not be long term. I don't know the long term or short term.
No, even long term.
So I'm not going to give a benchmark maybe long term or short. No, for short term it might thrive because of basically if you look the way they are playing this IPO. People they've given it, so I don't know if people because it's supposed to be like the confidentiality and the NDA agreement, but you should know that people they are giving it to, they will definitely hold up that stock to do well.
Okay, I mean, I would say yes, and it's good I'm in between the two of you. I'm on the fence now. I definitely get the fact that it's overhyped, and if there's anything, again, like the online influencers, they would come and tell you information after it's already happened. Which is why, for me now, we're in the age where information is not really the problem. Like, we're almost information overload. There's podcasts, which are telling you something. So, information is out there. But what's important is organized information. Like, people give you information in a way that it makes sense and they are not only showing you one side. They are not only showing you, this is the upside potential. How about if things also go sideways as well? So, I would say, I mean, for me, if there's anything I always watch out for in the refinery, right now, I don't think we've seen any financial statement that has been published in terms of the activity.
Refinery,
That's something that investors need to look at. I know financials, I mean, again, we understand that it's the IPO, so we'll start getting these things once they are on board. But that was one thing I always like, okay, convince me that, yes, this is where I can put my money. But besides that, again, the face behind the brand is very important. And if there's anything I also consider is, at least for oil and gas, depending on the equipment that they use in terms of mining, refining, and all of that, usually production is capped to a certain level. Because there's only so much the machine can produce. Let's say, I mean, I don't know how many barrels now, but there's a certain barrel and there's a maximum capacity, unless you now want to just spoil the machine. So the only other alternative, which I think Dangote would look at, is, of course, it can expand outside of Nigeria, which is probably looking outside of Africa as well. So, I mean, there are both sides, right? I think for an investor now, just in terms of decision, one thing one of my mentors told me was, at least for this IPO, a strategy that they might explore is, okay, if they had 100% investment that they're looking at, is they can do 30% upfront and see what happens.
Exactly.
After it's listed.
Then
when we have more information, I can now say, okay, let me go more in, or maybe let me pull back a bit and look at other opportunities. So again, there's always hype online. Now we're in days of information, there's hype everywhere, but it's important to always discern the important information
digest
amidst all the noise. I mean, there's no. But just to wrap up, we enjoyed this too much, so we'll be here for a minute. Another thing that we do bring to our listeners is career opportunities. It's part of our core pillars, right? As much as everybody, I don't know if it's my own circle, but there's always this hate for 9 to 5 that, I don't want to do 9 to 5, man. But people don't understand that at the initial stage, you need knowledge, So it's not even about. The money is important.
Always important.
But then the exposure, the people you even meet to build the trust, the network for whatever thing you are going to do, right? I would say, maybe as a takeaway for this week, is another thing you can just add to how you view your job or whatever you are doing, But in terms of career opportunities, most of the graduate trainees they are not out right now, and all of that. Even I even checked online, I wasn't really seeing anything tangible in terms of career. I don't know if you guys saw anything really tangible in terms of career. So nothing like that. So I think with that, we've touched on everything. Anything else that we need to touch on?
Yeah, so I would just like to let's give extras to, I'll say, okay, let's look at it this way, is the US and Iran
Oh yeah.
issue going on actually. But for me, one thing I would like to just put my purview on is the way the World Cup has been, in terms of, basically the World Cup will always be the World Cup, but the factors around hospitality, what we read about countries, it shows a few US they don't have the world at mind. Like, let's be very honest. You see the likes of, you see them denying the visas of chefs, like services attached to football itself, medical and all.
Can they deny the visa?
Because they are doing what they are doing now for this World Cup is visa on arrival. So you can move out of your country based on the purpose of, you are going to the World Cup to represent your country, which your country would have made provisions for you to travel with the embassy in-house here. But they are denying people visas, and they are even telling them, so if you can't stay, you have a particular day, you can, I think for Iran now, they have 24 hours to leave US soil immediately after their match and go back to Canada or Mexico. So the war is playing its part actually, but I feel this is the World Cup. If you are not uniting on this particular stage, if you are not selling tourism at its best on this particular stage, then I don't think there is any way we'll get it right.
I mean, if there's anything with people who just say, again, the people in charge, they have power. I mean, US has a lot of power. Literally, almost the entire world currency is benchmarked to the dollar.
Yes,
so a lot of power. They're going to some places, which is why it's so interesting that Iran now, as small as Iran is, I wouldn't say they defeated them in the whole back and forth. Those guys held their ground.
They held their ground. Yeah.
And they have to now come to a conclusion that, okay, you know what, if you guys don't want to agree, you have stronger too. Let's come to a treaty just so we can end this thing and then things can go back to normal for the world. But I would say it's disheartening. At least some of our investors that want to go and watch World Cup, like I made.
It's going to be the final.
You'll be there for the finals now. But are you guys? Just to wrap up, are you guys enjoying the World Cup so far?
Yeah, my goat has been goated. I don't know about some other goats.
Okay.
I don't know, but my goat, is goated.
Well, some other goats has given them 2 goals.
2 goals. He's arriving the party late.
Well, yeah, strive for.
But we still have a lot to look into the world. I feel after the group stage, like imagine after the banter. I was watching South Africa's highlight this morning, and after the banter, I feel like I'm supporting South Africa now, basically. Because after the banter in the first match, they lost. They're like, let's bring them out. But it shows you football is played on the pitch. It's a fair game of 11 men against 11 men and one ball at the center. So I watched their match yesterday. They got 3 points against South Korea, and they are proceeding to the round of 32. So I feel we are now separating boys from men. So this is where the tournament gets tougher. So, but hopefully we hope the goats will start beating, or maybe the boys would upset. It's the World Cup once in 4 years. The expectation and what comes with it.
And for our Nigerians, it's painful that we're not here. Like,
so I feel I don't know if this is a rumor or maybe. I saw a publication about Wiki stating it's painful for him that Nigeria is not in the World Cup. Because if you see the likes of Caracas in the World Cup, Panama, man, I bet you Agege local government is these people. I
saw Bosnia and Herzegovina. Like, it's a good country, like fantastic.
Yeah. But Cape Verde, what's their population? You see a country of 500,000 going to the world, 500,000 people, and we have 20 million. Do you know how many Saturday sets we have everywhere? So, but hopefully, I feel the government can just when it comes to this, it's not only the government, also grassroots development. And sometimes when they say grassroots development, people see it as government. I feel it's not the government. It resides with us. Even also schools. Let people participate in sports. Curriculum activities. It starts from the grassroots. If they are not interested in sports from day one, people veer off.
Honestly, there's a lot we need to do in the country, right? But it's all good. Again, Jubril enjoys the sporting thing. You know that's the thing. Watch out.
I'm not a fan actually.
But you have the goods.
This guy will not say he no longer watching football.
Exactly.
Bunch of liars. But anyways, thank you guys.
He's a Tottenham fan, so I'm not surprised.
That's private information. That was a private placement. But thank you so much. This has been a good episode. We'll catch you guys next month.